do, 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 do.
You're listening to the Sizzle.
Hey, what's good with you, sir?
I'm good, G. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, I can't call it. I can't call nothing but the win today, Jack. It is one of those days where I'm trying to get it all in, and we're trying to make sure that the people are ready for what we got to talk about. In fact, let's just start the show, Jay. Let's talk about Week 10 in the NFL. Some of the things that went on. We know that the officiating is bad, and we're going to talk about that shortly. But Week 10 was a strange point for some teams. I think we had talked about this on the radio, and I want to say that we talked about it before about how some teams, you're going to learn something about somebody in Week 10 moving for the next few weeks, 6-7 more weeks to go. So as far as Week 10 goes, was there anything that really stood out to you as you were watching Week 10 and wondering what's going on, or is that what you thought was going on?
Big thing that really made me go was that Chicago Bears lost to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't happen. Not in that fashion. Bears are up. Should have been able to stay up, and for whatever reasons, we know that defense is bad, but geez Louise. I mean, the Bears needed that win. Not saying that they're going to try to get to the playoffs or anything like that, but if people say, oh, we want to get that number 6 pick, who is there that you want so bad?
Mm-hmm.
Who is it? I don't know. Next thing you saw was Tom Brady coming up off the turf there and leading Tampa Bay like he did. So it was a lot of great games. And I'll tell you, the Josh Allen situation, I mean, there were so many great games. And I'll tell you the one that was really a kicker out of all of them was Aaron Rodgers putting it to the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Who saw that one coming? I know I didn't. I thought the Cowboys were going to put their boot to them, but we understand that ain't what this is. The NFL and everybody's on scholarship. We still got to play the game because anybody can win in this league, and we found that out. And just talk about the Commanders. I mean, who saw that one coming? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just a whole bunch of whoa. That's what makes the NFL fun.
Mm-hmm. As we look back at through some of the things that we were going over, we were talking about over the weekend. We talked about Saturday. We talked about the old men in the NFL, and can the old men in the NFL do it? Can they get it in? Can they get busy? Well, we saw in Germany that I didn't think that the Seahawks-Buccaneers game was going to play out the way it did with Tom Brady coming in doing just what Tom Brady does. But I thought the Seahawks were going to give a better showing. And then back to what you were saying about the Cowboys.
Yeah.
To me, weirdest game, a lot of strange things going on, a lot of stepping up. But I guess we have to retract some of those statements about the older players, older quarterbacks getting the job done. But I don't think I think we gave them their kudos and their props, especially Tom Brady. We had said that this could be a game that Tom Brady could come in and win.
Yeah, what the issue is that, there's a reason why they're the old wily veterans. They figure out a way to get it done. They just don't have the superior teams around them anymore. And, if either one of them make the playoffs, they're probably not going to make too much hay in the playoffs. But, which was amazing with me because Bakhtiari was out for the Green Bay. And so I thought Aaron Rodgers would be much more under pressure from Micah Parsons. And that didn't really turn out to be that much. I mean, he got knocked around a little bit, but for the most part, he handled that pressure pretty well. Mm-hmm. That's just a veteran being able to read these defenses and getting the ball out. You saw the same thing happen with not a veteran, but you saw a coaching staff that made Heineke from the Commanders look like a veteran. Mm-hmm. They just controlled the football, got the ball out of his hands, and let him get beat up. And all of a sudden, you see the Eagles' defense get tired. So sometimes scheme wins you games. That's the reason why these coaches make the money that they make. They come up with good schemes, and sometimes they're a little bit better in chess than you are. So that's what happened all around the board. You see Tom Brady down in Tampa. They're going to get something figured out at some point in time. Mm-hmm. Can the rest of the team keep up? That's the question.
Yeah, it's a big question when you look at what's going on in the league and how it kind of played out. And to your point, you were saying that earlier, and we said that on the air. We were really talking about that on the air, that when it came to making sure that you were handling business, probably the two best in the league did what they had to do, and they handled business. I mean,
Yeah.
they handled it all the way from the beginning of the game. I know it was a good game for Germany. I don't know. How did you feel about a Germany game? Was that
I mean,
exciting for you?
my whole thing, but no, it wasn't exciting for me because I wasn't getting up that early. The whole thing about it is we do see the league trying to, they want to put a team over in London, I'm pretty sure. So if they can figure out, because you want to talk, was it 4 hours from New York? Is that
Mhm.
the flight to London? Something like that. So they're trying to figure out, they get a team over in London. Europe loves it over there because it's a sport that makes sense. The only other sport over there that makes sense over there is football, cricket. I watched that. I watched the whole documentary on cricket about the greatest player who ever cricketed before, and I think he was from where is it? Auckland, I think he is, or whatever.
Mhm.
And I still came away from that game not really understanding what they were doing. So, and the rest of it, they're throwing big stones around and whatever else they're doing, and hacky sack or whatever else they're playing over there. So they got a game over there that makes sense. Football makes sense.
Mhm.
So let's get those guys out there, run around, and rugby's another game too. But rugby's just a I was going to say a more brutal form of football, but those guys get tattooed out there. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
football will go over well over in Europe. I just think they're trying to put a team in London. They got to figure out the traveling and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're talking about figuring out how they're going to put this together, how they're going to go about making sure that they get their brand marketed over there. But that leads us really into where we were going and what we were talking about as far as what was going on this weekend. And it was a lot going on. I mean, it was a lot of stuff going on, a lot of weird calls that were made, a lot of decisions that were made for teams that maybe shouldn't have been made for teams. How about that? It's just one of those things where we're looking at, it's getting late in the season. Now guys are getting positioning. And is this, are teams really set? Are they where they're supposed to be? We got people saying, hey, let's go Patriots. I don't know where the Patriots are going, but they're going somewhere. So we got to, uh, I think I know who that is. I think I know who that is who's showing all this Pat's love, because I think there's somebody that there's a coach over there named Belichick, right? I
Yeah, I
think
think
that's
so.
his
I
name.
think that's his name.
Yeah, I think he's a little perturbed at what's going on, Jay. I think he's a little upset about how this whole thing is rolling out, because he's saying, listen, coaches have the right to make the decision when they want to go out and make a challenge. And you should have that ability to challenge, especially when plays dictate or when a bad call can change the whole dynamic of a game. I mean, it changes everything.
Yeah.
Everything goes, just kind of topsy turvy then. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it really quick. If you're talking about what you saw from week 10, I think the biggest thing for everybody that stuck out was the bad refereeing that was talked about. It came up in the Vikings and the Bills game. There still were some issues in the Bears game. Now, maybe all the
Eagles
Bears
had
game
Eagles
was,
had one too.
Eagles
That
had one.
face mask for the tight end, if I remember that right.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of face masking. There was a lot of weird calls, a lot of push off calls, a lot of holding penalties that weren't called, and then there were some that were just ticky tack calls. What does the NFL do, Jay, to rectify what's going on as far as the referee situation? How do they address that for the whole league?
Stop the replay. Stop
Mm.
it. Stop it completely. I'm tired of replay. I'm sick of it. Right? I'm tired of replaying baseball. Pretty soon they're just going to have the shot tracker tracking the baseball, and they're calling balls and strikes with a little chip in the baseball. First thing, part of the nuance of the game are the referees. Part of being able to play the sport is to get away with some things that the referee doesn't see it. That's always been part of football, right? It's that defensive back knowing where the back judge is going to be and he reaches in with his opposite arm and give a little tug in there, and the back judge doesn't see it. He can't throw the rag. Now, this all happened because of that horrible call. What was that call? About 4 or 5 years ago now. What was that, in the playoffs or the Super Bowl?
That was the Super Bowl. Wait, are you
New
talking
Orleans,
about
the mugging that happened on the sideline?
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the Tom Brady call.
No. I'm talking about the mugging that happened on the sideline.
Yeah.
Literally, the pass interference call, which was probably the worst pass interference we've ever seen. Guy literally got mugged and got robbed on the sideline, and there was no flag. However, referees' decisions are part of the game. It just is. You know what I'm saying? So here's the issue about it, right? You still got the referees going up in the booth, making decisions about what's going on. Now, should there be calls about spotting the football, stuff like that? Yeah, let's get that right. But all these holding penalties and all this stuff, and, these pass interference penalties, if they get called, they get called. If they don't get called, they don't get called. It's part of the game. And I'm really tired of them trying to legislate every movement of a football game. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm tired of it in baseball. We shouldn't have replay in baseball. It should be what it is. The call is the call. That's part of the game. The umpire behind there, he's calling low strikes today. You better hit the ball in. He's giving the pitcher another 2 inches outside the plate. Well, you better step over there and hit it. It's just the way it is. I think we're trying to make a game that never was designed to be perfect. It's football. And this is all judgment calls. I mean, just like touchdowns. As much as you try to get the rule right, even in replay, right, there's not enough information to overturn the call, even though it's supposed to be clear evidence. But a lot of times you can look at it and go, oh, no, that guy didn't get in. But they called it a touchdown. It wasn't enough to reverse it. Is that right? Clearly you didn't get in, but it's just not, we don't see the ball where the end of the ball is, so we can't decide that it's short or not. Look at the ball. He's not in. So, they need to stop replaying. I really think so. And the other side of it now, to answer a more realistic answer to your question, it is what it is. All right? They're going to blow calls out there every once in a while. That game is moving 100 miles an hour. Sometimes their eyes aren't exact. They're on the flight of the ball, on the guy. Guy's hands are on him, wrapped around his waist. It's going to happen. Everybody wants to sideline referee. Why? Because you got 8 cameras in front of you, right, from every angle, and you got Buck and everybody else up there at Aikman showing it to you in super slow-mo because it's been shot at 120 frames per second. So you can see every little grab and every little dust particle fly off it. In real speed, you can't see that. You just can't see it. So I give these guys kudos to the calls that they do make. They get most of these calls right. So the few that they blow in the big moments, it's supposed to get blown. Just the way it is, But you had more than that one time to win the football game. So, yep, that's my take.
What about a call that was so egregious, especially for the Bears, when you saw, how is it that 4 refs did not see a pass interference on someone who was bracketed high and low, and you saw the shirt pull? How does that work?
They put their whistles in their pockets. Sometimes in the games they do that. You saw that in the playoffs in basketball games, right? Guys get mud going to the basket. They don't call it. The last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds of a ball game, 10 seconds of a ball game, right? You have to literally have your head chopped off. Each one of these things, is that what happens? They don't look. Here's the thing about it, right? Referees are supposed to ref the game, not supposed to determine the outcome of the game, right? So these refs, here's the other thing. Say they do throw the flag, and it's not what they thought it was, right? It's not what they thought it was. That referee's going to get rolled. Look at him. He threw the flag. There wasn't no pass interference at all, and everybody's throwing their hands up in there. They're in a no-win situation, right? They're wrong if they're wrong, or they're wrong if they're right. They missed the call. That's what happens. Were they out there collectively trying to miss the call together? No, they just missed it. From whatever angle that they saw, we don't see. Here's the thing about it. You need to get referee cam. That's what we need. We need referee cam. We need cameras on some glasses. Stick it out like that, and so you can see what the referee saw. And then let's see if you can make the call. Remember that way back in the day? You make the call. You make the call. Mm-hmm. Right? They didn't see it. That's what happened. They didn't see it. These guys are huge, flying around in front of them, going faster. For most of y'all have never been near a football field when these guys this big, this fast, can jump this high, are moving that quickly. Running at 22 miles an hour, 230 pounds, flying through the air, 40-some-odd inch verticals. I mean, explosion like you could not believe. They're at the height of their physical ability. And every once in a while, the little guy with the pot belly who runs a 5.8 40, every once in a while, he's going to miss a call. It's just the way it is. I mean, it's just not going to be perfect. Okay, then let's do this then. Let's put a camera on everybody, right? Everything. And let's just have a 5-hour game. Let's just stop and see that anybody, because I tell you what, on most run plays, there is a hold in there somewhere, right? If it doesn't affect the play, they let the hold go. So if we're going to call everything, let's call everything. Let's call holds on the backside of a run play. Let's do that. You know, when your team just broke 60 yards and your backside offensive tackle, who was 4 people away from the game, grabbed the jersey on the back, let's call that since we're going to call everything. It's like, come on, y'all.
I'm at this point now, Jay, where I'm wondering about these calls, and I'm wondering how to make it better. And I don't know if there is actually a way to make it better. It's just, it is what it is. And unfortunately, you would like to say that if you have refs on the field, it shouldn't just be happenstance or chance. You should think that if there are refs on the field, that they would be able to get a call right, even when they have a chance to review the play. So when you have someone like Bill Belichick who said there has to be a space for coaches to be able to recall a play or to review a play that they think was erroneous, is that going to lengthen the game, or is that going to make it better that you have some accuracy in these calls?
Don't you have a challenge? Don't we have challenge flags?
You do.
Okay, so at some point in time, look, the game is the game, all right? I mean, there are 20 calls within the course of a game that could go either direction. How many times on a run play does somebody have a handful of jersey? Mm-hmm. Now, if it's against your team, you want that call. But if it's not against your team, oh my God, how can you call that? They hold on every play. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to be satisfied. It just is what it is. And so, I mean, the more you start trying to legislate the game, the more you take away the game. This is a game. This is what this is. The grown men are getting paid a huge amount of money to play because there are gladiators. Mm-hmm. We go out there, we might as well be at the time of Caesar. We're in the Coliseum watching guys fight lions. That's basically what's going on. But the issue is, it's not going to be perfect. I'm pretty sure they threw a challenge flag back in the Coliseum too. Who cut the lion loose early on that gladiator? Y'all should have let that lion loose that early. That wasn't fair. He just came up right behind him. Well, the chain was 5 feet too long. That chain's always 22 feet. Now it's 27. He came in there and bit him in the back of the head. Foul, throw the challenge flag back in those days too. It is what it is. I mean, it's just too much legislation going into these games right now. You're taking away from the nuance of the game.
So are you saying that this is an issue that should come before Congress? I mean, we are in an electoral season. So should we bring this before Congress and say, listen, the NFL is consistently violating players' rights, and this should be something that should be stopped?
Right? Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This is entertainment. All right? For the most part, hopefully nobody's losing their life out there. This is entertainment. Entertain us. Are you not entertained? Did you get to holler and scream and go around the water cooler with your buddies? Does anybody go around the water cooler anymore? But you go around the water cooler and go have these conversations. Oh, they got job last night. Oh my God. Why? You got entertained for a whole week. Now you get to talk about how bad the referees were. But guess what you're going to do next week? You come back and watch the game. Mm-hmm. Right? And that's why Coca-Cola and Pepsi and everybody else is sponsored. You got to get your Doritos chips and your 7 pieces for $5 from Papa John's or whatever they got going on that day. And, you think Shaq is going to come over with the Shaq-a-roni. It's entertainment, y'all. Stop. It's entertainment.
Let me ask you something. Since we're here talking about entertainment and we're talking about the shakaroni, and I'm a little hungry right now. Is the shakaroni appealing to you? Is
No,
that something that you say I've got to go and have a extra large pepperoni flat pizza?
first thing, I'm not a pepperoni fan by any stranger. I'm not a pepperoni fan.
Hmm.
Plus, it looks like it's too. It looks sometimes pizzas get to be too big and they're not cooked enough in the middle. I don't want soggy pizza. That looks like soggy pizza in the middle. I don't want soggy pizza.
Well, there are a lot of people who like that soggy pizza thing. It's always the Chicago versus the East Coast
Yeah, but
debate of
our
which
crust is
would you
better.
rather. Would you rather of the pie or would you rather the slice? And again, I am I'm determined to say that the pie always
Yeah,
outbatters the
you
slice.
you have to New Yorkers saying it's a casserole. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Okay.
it's pizza casserole.
Yeah, well, they're haters. They're haters, but that's
Yeah,
okay. I
hate
know some
on.
more people who are haters, and those are the people who are going to be watching Thursday night's game when Week 11 starts, because Week 11 is almost here. And guess what,
Football's
Jay?
almost over. Yeah,
It's almost over. But the Titans and the Packers, you're going to have the Titans going to Lambeau.
but hold
You're
on
going
to
to have a
Derrick Henry.
hot uh, Aaron Rodgers and a very cold Derrick Henry. I don't know what's going on as far as the Titans, what they're going to do with their QB situation. But I see another win for Green Bay. Am I wrong in thinking that maybe they had a turning point last week?
But they didn't have a turning point. They just won a football game. That just
Mm.
tells you Dak is not ready for prime time.
Mm.
Dak ain't never been ready for prime time. If all y'all think Dak all of a sudden got everything he needs and all of a sudden he's going to win the Super Bowl, it ain't going to happen.
Hmm.
I'm with Stephen A on that one. Ain't going to have Dak's going to figure a way to mess this up. I mean, I like Dak as a quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I like him as a quarterback. But he's just jinxed it. He's jinxed in Cowboy land. He needs to get out of there. He should have came to the Bears.
Well, I don't think the Bears need a quarterback anymore.
All of a sudden now we're running around, and all of a sudden we got him now. How many yards he throw for?
Uh, how many yards did he throw for? How many
Was it
yards did
160? Was it under 160?
how much did the defense give up? How
Okay,
many
how
yards
bad?
did Tom Brady throw for?
How bad? Okay, are you really? Are we gonna really
How
say
many?
the same in the
Yeah.
same breath? Are
Yep.
we going
We're
to
gonna say it.
mention
How many
Tom
yards
Brady and
Aaron
Justin
Rodgers
Fields
throw
in the same?
for?
Are we
The
going to say the
only
same
team
breath?
that
You
you
can't
can
even say
say
that.
that they were
Blasphemy.
great throwing, and it wasn't even great, was the Bills
Blasphemy.
versus the Minnesota
Sir, are going to get.
Slapperers.
You're going to get smoted, sir. I don't
That's
even know what
okay.
smoted
That's
is.
all
You're going to
right.
get smoted.
Well, the Cowboys and the Vikings, that might be a smoting. I don't know who's going to get smoted. I know one thing. I know Ezekiel is not doing his way of leading his people. I don't, at some point you wonder when the switch goes off for running backs in the league. Because it seems like,
They go out when their knees get hurt, like his knee is hurt.
yeah.
At some point in time, these guys get banged up. And they keep adding on games. Now we're at 17. Then we'll be at 18 in about 2-3 more years. Then we'll ease up to 20. How you gonna play 2 college football seasons in 1 year and not get people banged up?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's just not possible.
Well, okay, so let's talk about something that seems impossible. It seems impossible for the Chicago Bears to get a win. No matter what they do, no matter how hard they try, they still can't seem to get a win. But they're going up against a Falcons team. Now, they are on the road, they are traveling, they are not favored in this game. But you've got a 3-7 Bears team going against a 4-6 Falcons team. And Jay, I don't know what to make of what's going on with the Bears outside of the fact that they have no pass rush. Now their best rusher is on IR for the next few weeks. And, well, second best outside of Justin Fields. And they don't look like they know exactly what they're doing on defense.
Yeah.
So
Well,
there we are.
here's the issue, though, right? You still got Marcus Mariota, who can at times look great. And against this Bears defense, you or I will look great back there throwing the football around. This Bears defense is the worst defense. I'm going to say Worst defense the Bears have ever had right now. This defense is bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about bad. Your best linebacker is gone, which he should have been. Your rushing is gone. You got guys that are just rotating them in. Oh, hey, you know what? Let's pull this guy off the practice squad. Let's throw him in there. It's called Northwestern. Is anybody in grad studies over there? You want to come play football? It's bad. It's a bad defense. And it's going to get worse. And they're going to figure out how to punish this defense. That's what's going to happen. So does Justin Fields have a chance to win this ball game? Nope. He might win it in spite of the fact, but does he have a chance to win it? No. He don't have a chance to win none of these games. I was surprised if they go over on the wall all the way through. Because they have now your best running back is gone. I think he had 4.6 yards per carry. So all of a sudden that's gone. Tevin Jenkins wasn't in the ball game. Mm-hmm. No, now you got a left tackle that everybody figured out he can't really play left tackle for you. Mm-hmm. And now you got a run. Now your best runner, your overall rusher, your number one rusher of your ball club is your quarterback. How long is that gonna last? Don't think he ain't gonna get tattooed at some point in time? You know he's coming. You know he's due. Then what you got?
Again, I think that is, to me, that's one of the weaker arguments that pundits always throw out there. He's going to get tattooed. He's going to get hit. Anybody who plays is going to get hit. They're going to get hurt. They're going to get knocked around. If you play quarterback,
this is your number one guy.
Okay, so if you look at Miami, if their number one guy goes down, which is their quarterback, which is Tua.
Is he a runner?
He runs. I mean, he got tattooed, and nobody even saw when he got tattooed. He was so bad, he barely could get off the field.
Is he a runner?
He ran to the hospital later on that afternoon after he got hit.
You saw RG3 retired early, right? Because he's getting tattooed. All right, all these running quarterbacks. The last really running quarterback that really kept it all together was Michael Vick and Steve Young, right? Name me another running quarterback.
Does he keep it together?
Well, he kept it together. He was a good running quarterback. And you're talking about Lamar Jackson sparked. He sparked just like Justin Fields is sparking. A bigger spark, but after some point in time. Now, Justin Fields throws a baseball. He does throw a good baseball. Throws a football better than Lamar Jackson. Mm-hmm. I think overall his platform is better, but he's not nearly the threat with throwing the football. If you could keep him in the pocket, he's not going to beat you from in the pocket. Now he'll hit a couple of long ones here and there, but he'll pick you apart consistently all game long. But they're taking off and running 140 yards per game. That's got to stop. He's not going to last like this.
I don't think he can stop it. But in the last 4 games, he's thrown for 620 yards, 8 touchdowns, and just 1 interception. Okay, on the ground, he's added 467 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. Okay. So I think that really shows you an inadequacy in what they have as far as talent around him. But you're talking about a Panthers team that just gave up 232 yards. I mean, Falcons team gave up 232 yards to the Panthers last week.
Yeah.
So you got a good chance. You got a running quarterback with a leaky defense on both sides of the field. It might be a shootout. It might be a pick'em game again, like the Lions.
It's going to be a shootout. A shootout. It's going to be a shootout. Justin Fields is going to run again for big numbers. You're just not going to be able to win like this because are the Bears winning with Justin Fields doing this? Mm. No, but part of that is he's got a bad defense, right? Mm-hmm. But look at the team he's playing. They should have beat Detroit. They had Detroit on the ropes, right? And if he was that dominant, how come he didn't keep dominating against Detroit? What happened? Somebody wants to answer that. Nobody, no. Weren't they up? Weren't they up? How many points? Double digits there going in the third quarter. Points.
And so are you blaming the offense for the offense for coming back on the field?
Is this an offensive explosion? Is this an offensive explosion? What the Chicago Bears have?
It's a better offensive explosion than a defensive explosion. Yes, it's an offensive explosion.
Was that Detroit defense bad?
Better than the Bears.
Was the Detroit defense bad? Yes or no, sir? You understand?
Was it bad for what? now,
Oh, now here we go.
I'm
We're
gonna ask you.
parsing. We're
Yes,
parsing
yes.
words
Now,
now. Because you
explain
don't
to
want
me
to
what
answer the
you're
question.
saying by
Because you know
that.
I got you over the barrel right
Now,
now.
you don't have
And
me
you
over
know,
any
yeah, I
barrel.
have you. You're over the
How
barrel hanging
can
on.
an offensive team? How are you going to blame Justin Fields for the defensive side
How come we didn't keep scoring against
miscalculations?
Detroit? You're up 14 points. How come we didn't keep scoring against Detroit?
How is it the Detroit if they are a better
That
team? Wait a
wasn't
minute,
the
and they got the better quarterback. To your point, because he just stands in the pocket. Oh, you love pocket quarterbacks. You love guys who just stand back there and get hit.
Oh
my
you need a
God.
pocket quarterback. But what I'm
Oh
saying
my
to you is,
goodness.
if we have all this offensive explosion going on, then we should have kept exploding, and we didn't. We went like that. And
Oh my goodness. How much explosion did you need? They exploded against Dallas. And even in that
we
contest,
talking about Dallas. We're not talking about Dallas.
Oh my goodness, whatever. Any team where you can't stop somebody offensively, it's gonna happen.
You just proved my point. So is Dallas's defense better than Detroit's defense?
Yes, it's better. Well, I don't know. Because they lost to Green Bay. So I don't know how good it is. Now, you just lost to Green Bay. So I don't know, Jet. I don't know what is what. Now, in fact, I'm going to say no. It's probably on the same level with Green Bay right now. No, it's horrible. It's horrible, man. It is terrible. Oh, my goodness. You let Aaron Rodgers come in there and snap. You let a boy who's a rookie that nobody had ever heard of, and he gets 3 touchdowns on you. That's how bad Dallas's defense was.
Your Honor, would you remind the defender that he's still under oath?
Yep, okay. Nope. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say that Dallas gave up so much yardage to Green Bay.
That's bad.
I mean, their running back had a record game. You don't even have a good receiver in Green Bay right now. Name me 3 of their receivers right now.
Don't need to. I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers doesn't even know who they are. He just sees somebody open and he passes the ball to him.
He's throwing the ball to him. But we can still say Detroit's defense is better than Dallas defense is better than Detroit.
Well, Dallas's defense is better than Detroit. Detroit's defense is better than the Bears. And there's where you have it, my friend. If the Bears had any semblance of a defense, maybe they could have won some of these games. I mean, you've gotten into shootouts with everybody you've come across, and your defense has let you down each and every time. From the beginning of the season, you got into a shootout with Green Bay early, and then your defense said, no mas. We want no more.
So let's ask, what the great Denny Green, what did he say? You are what your record says you are.
Mm-hmm.
So we're feeling good about the Bears, all these losses right now? Is that what we're feeling good? Getting that 6th pick? Now, hold on. Let me do who here. Who is the projected 6th pick? That's what I want to know now. Because everybody's talking about this 6th pick. I want to know who the projected 6th pick is.
Who said it's going to be the 6th pick?
Somebody, I about 3 or 4 good pundits say that.
It might be the 5th pick. It might be the 4th the way this thing is going. Because do you feel confident that the Bears are going to win against a Bills team? That they're going to go in and put in work? They're going to put in work against Minnesota? What happens when they see Green Bay again? What happens when they see Detroit again? In fact, it was a record-setting day when they went to Minnesota. It was horrific. I don't know how they got back in it. Oh, that's right. Justin Fields, because it sure wasn't their defense. It was a horrible day. So you're saying 6th pick. I'm saying they're not even going to make it to get down to the 6th pick. It's going to be, let's see, 1, 2. Can they get up to the 3rd pick?
Let's see what the draft order is. Let me see what we got going on here.
Can they get to the 3rd pick? Or is that maybe that's a little bit too much?
All right, let's see. Detroit's supposed to have the number 1 pick.
No,
Houston, Texas.
Houston's going to have the number 1.
Texas, Seahawks, Eagles, Steelers. Am I in the right year here?
You can't be, because there's no way the Seahawks can be that far.
Am I in the right year? Let me look and see.
Yep, you're not in the right year, my friend. You are not in the right year.
This is a look at the first round order for the 2023 NFL draft heading into the week 8 of the 22 NFL season. So I'm in the right order for the 2023 draft, sir.
Can't be.
Saying the Lions would have number 1. Say Texans would be 2. Panthers 3. Texans again at 4. Seahawks, Eagles, Steelers, Jacksonville, Raiders, Patriots. Patriots had number 10. Falcons at 11. What the Bears at? Dolphins at 12. Bears at 13.
Oh my goodness.
Bears at 13. So
well, let's use a logical mock draft because yours is illogical at this point.
I'm sorry, you're telling me off the NFL website
I'm telling you,
that was not right.
This is the same place where we just talked about their referees and how bad they suck. They're suckage. They're suckage.
He's evasive and argumentative, sir.
Yeah, I might be argumentative, but I'm going to tell you now, they suck. So let's go. Let's look at what CBS, because they have a good money line all the time.
You can't even get CBS on regular TV. What are you talking about?
Yeah, whatever. They got a good money line. So number 1 pick, you got Bryce Young going to.
Oh, because they got him going. Bears going at 3.
Alabama. Yeah. And at 3, going to 3. Wow.
Who's that?
They pick up a lineman from Penn State. Interesting.
Is that Jerky Gherkin right there?
No. What are you talking about? No. Right here. You see it right there on the screen. That they are picking up a lineman. I don't think that's going to happen, but who am I?
They better pick up a wide receiver. That's what they better pick up.
Fashwana,
they better pick up some speed.
They better get some
4.3 cheetah speed out there. That's what they better do. They better go find. They better go find the Jaguar or whatever. They need to go find some speed on the outside who can catch football.
Yeah, they're gonna have to find somebody. But I'm just saying, man. I think that the Bears are gonna be up there somewhere.
Who's that Travis Scott at Grambling at JSU? He ready to come out yet?
No, not yet.
He can't come out after his freshman year.
Nah, he can't come out after your freshman
year. We can use him.
I'm going to go to the Athletic, and let's just look and see what the Athletic has to say about what are the chances of the Bears and where they'll be. So let's just look and see where they'll be, because Cam the Barber, he needs to look at this too, because your team needs a quarterback, my friend. You're going to be
Cam. That Bears flag is going to be permanently placed at the top of his. It's never coming down.
So the Bears right now by projected win totals 5 wins, and they have about a 7.8% chance of getting up to that number 1 pick. Now, this is not a lottery like the NBA. So it's not that you can luck into that number 1. You got to actually play yourself into that number 1. And what the Athletic is saying is the Bears are that bad, that good grief. So you're saying the Bears are that bad that the Texans are going to beat them?
You'll take Bryce Young?
No, not at all. With this line, Bryce Young would be killed. He would be dead. He'd be dead. He'd be dead.
Justin Fields is our guy?
It's going to have to be your guy for something.
This is what we're rocking with?
That's it. All
right. Remember you said that, right?
I'm going to remember it, just like I remember that for the Chicago Bulls, their man is on the court, but is he really on the court doing too much of anything? And that is Zach LaVine. The question, Jay, is I had this discussion, and I've had it with Casey Johnson. I've had it with other pundits.
Casey Johnson?
I wrote Casey Johnson. I was like, look. Let me ask you this one question.
Look at the halo around my head right there. Look at me.
All right. Well, we'll come to you in a minute, Nostradamus. When it comes to the Bulls, and this is not just the Bulls, Lakers included, you got some other players included. You see now that you have teams like Milwaukee that have done what they needed to do to surround their superstar with the added pieces. When it comes to the Bulls, can the Bulls articulate what they actually need? I'm beginning to wonder, Jay, is this team what you see now with Zach and what you see with Debo and what you see with your center? Are these even guys they're going to have on the squad next year? Because this whole Lonzo Ball thing is getting a little ballsy and it's getting a little crazy because he can't come back. I mean, even his brother's been hurt, but what's this, 8 weeks in? I'm telling you now, this whole thing looks like it's on the road to implosion. But the
Okay.
question is, Jay, can the Bulls and will the Bulls make the decisions they need to make if this thing goes off the rails?
Here's your whole problem with the NBA right now. Here's the whole problem. You must have a super team to win in the NBA. Just it. Your average good teams don't have a chance now. The Bulls are an average team who lost a guy who would have made a big difference for him. And Lonzo Ball would have made a huge difference for him. You've got Zach LaVine who's still hurt. And you got DeMar DeRozan at some point in time is going to come back down to earth. After that, I mean, you got an okay bench and you got, guys who can play a little bit, but they're a good team, but they're not a great team. You got to be a great team to win in the NBA. It's just the way it is. You got to have a super team. If you don't have a super team, you don't have a chance, right? Look at the Celtics. Look at the Celtics right now, right? The Celtics have a really, really, really good team, but does anybody think they're going to win the NBA championship?
Yeah, there is someone. There's somebody in our comments. One of our viewers has said they believe the Celtics are going to go. They're riding with the Celtics. Let's go Celtics. It's right there on the screen. Yeah, they are riding with the Celtics.
Sure, they can say, let's go Celtics, but here's the issue, right? Are the Celtics really going to go in the East? Do they have enough? Because they've been falling short and they're getting older now. But now you're starting to see Tatum better than what he was last year.
Now that's a good question because it looks like it's debatable if he's better than he was last year.
There's a slide now.
Was last year the best you were going to get out of Jason Tatum?
I think it was. I mean, I think he's a great ball player, but I think it was. And that you have to have a super team to win now. These good teams don't have a shot. The only team that's really a good team that has a shot to win it, that's Milwaukee, just because they probably have the most dominant player in the NBA right now.
Are you taking that over your and I know we're talking about the East, but are you taking that over your Golden State love?
They have the best.
They're better.
They have the best player in the league in Golden State. Golden State is the best player. The most dominant player is in Milwaukee. He's ridiculous. He offense, defense, just sheer will. I'm gonna take you out the back alley, punch you in the eye. He's that guy. Every game he comes to war. Every game he goes to war. Every game he comes in there like they only gonna give him $55 and he had to pay $45 to get in. You know what I'm saying? He balls out every game. He don't take a playoff.
That really well, they've got some issues too with their injuries. When you talk about a team that's getting older too, you've got your point guard and your starting three are really Middleton is down, and it hasn't looked good for him all season.
But they'll grind you and beat you down. That team is tough, and they'll beat you. That's old 1980s, 90s basketball right there. That's just come to the paint. We're gonna knock you down. We're gonna grind you up, and then our number one guy is just gonna keep coming to the basket, and y'all gonna get tired of standing in front of him.
I see it. I see it, but we talked about this on the radio, so let's jump back into it because we didn't get a chance to really dive into it.
Yeah.
What is going on in the land of La La? And I'm talking about Lakers and Clippers right now. You got Kawhi, who has a bulky knee that seems it's not right. You've got LeBron getting ready to go through his injury season. We're just waiting for it to happen with Anthony Davis. Is there any hope for those LA teams who are playing right now that they're even going to sniff the championship?
No. Next question. No, they're done. The Lakers were cooked from the start. You knew that. It was all stick a fork in them. Everybody's cashing paychecks over there. LeBron's waiting on Bronny. He's waiting on Bronny, and he's going to have to buy his own team if he thinks they're getting to the league. He's going to, Bronny ain't getting to the league. Maybe Bryce. Bronny's not going. So he's on the
Wait,
back.
is Shaq's son? Is his son still a
I haven't heard too much about. Did he have some type of medical thing going on at one point? Because Sharif was nice.
Yeah, he had a heart murmur, and it was
Yeah,
a heart murmur that I think they had a hole in his heart.
I haven't even heard. I don't know if Sharif's even playing anymore.
I don't know if he's still there. Is Scottie Pippen Jr. still there?
He's still playing. I don't know where he's at though. Let's look up Scottie Pippen tree. Let's see where Scottie is. I like him. He has a decent game. I didn't think he was going to make the NBA, but he was playing somewhere though.
Well, let me ask this while you're looking that up. The bigger question is, when it comes to Scottie Pippen Jr. and Scottie Pippen, is it ever okay for you, Larsa Pippen, to date your ex-husband's teammate's son?
Who cares? I mean, look, if Stella could get her groove on, so can she. Who cares? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? If they want to throw
Obviously, people who are watching them stroll around the beach, and Scottie Pippen cares.
If they want to throw her cookie around, it's her cookie. You know what I'm saying? Why? Okay, look, let me ask you a question, all right? These old guys want to run around with these 20-something-year-olds, right? Mm-hmm. So why would the older ladies like to run around with the 20-something-year-old guys? Mm-hmm. You know, look, everybody got money. Just because you the one paid for it. Mm-hmm. You the one who put her on, Scotty. That was your boo. Mm-hmm. You know, I see him sitting on the sidelines with his little chickadees over there, and I ain't seen none of them look like they were 60. How old they look?
Wait, he's not 60 yet.
Scottie Pippen's close. How old is Michael Jordan? 56, 57?
Yeah, well,
he's close. He's close.
So you just want him to sit over there with a 60-year-old woman just because he's close?
So why are you complaining about your ex or whatever is running around with some 20-year-old guy?
Wait a minute. Is he 20? He's not 20.
How old is he?
He's a little bit older than that.
22, 23. I mean, so you don't
say he's not that. You know, he's closer to 30, I believe.
Whatever. Who cares? I mean, my whole thing about it is you guys run around with the young chicks. The older ladies want to run around with the young guys. And say la vie. Go have at it. You know what I'm saying? Go have at it. That's the old guy. He just, the young guy tried to get out there too. What do you call these guys with their sugar babies? Sugar dudes?
I guess milk duds, I guess.
Milk duds.
I don't know. I don't know. I never thought about it that way.
Milk duds, that's perfect. Yeah,
I don't know.
He's out there being a milk dud right now. It's like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't.
Here's the whole thing about it. She's trying to stroll down the beach having herself a nice time with her whatever. You know what I'm saying? People out there running around snapping pictures because they can sell them for $15 to the whoever. Mm-hmm. Why is this news? Why do we care? Why is this? This is what's wrong with the world today. Hey, can you dig it? Can you dig it? It's a ball of confusion. Why do we care? Why? I don't care about that. Yeah, I wonder where I got that one from, huh?
Look, I know that probably you were watching a Motown Christmas the other night. Was it Motown in Detroit? Listen, man, Christmas, it's too early for those Christmas.
It's way too early. Ain't even no snow. There's some snow on the ground, but it ain't even got snowy. Those Motown specials was good right around the first part of December, right? When it was too cold to go anywhere. It was like minus 20 outside. And you were sitting in the house, and then if you're a person who imbibes, which I'm not, but you can sit up there, you got to a Chevys Regal going, and you're watching the guys, the Manhattans, and none of them are really the same guys from the show, from the original group. No. How you still a Temptation? There ain't one Temptation in there.
Not one. Not one at all, my friend.
Earth, Wind, and Fire is like that too. I think there's not one member of Earth, Wind, and Fire left anymore.
It might not be one in Cool in the Game. I mean, how are you? Oh my goodness! How are the Dale still touring? How are any of those groups still touring?
They're still going. So yeah, that's when those reviews are good. Smokey Robinson, that's when the reviews were good. Who they can run out there now? Nobody wants to watch these guys.